So will you show the same interest till the end? I don't trust you. I am seeing full class today. I don't trust you that you are going to see the same throughout. Will you do? Promise? I can promise you one thing. If you show the same enthusiasm till the end, you'll get through these prelims. The problem is you work hard first initial days, whatever tasks and things given by us. Finally, after 10 days or 15 days, you will lose interest. Don't do that, okay? See, every year we take up a crash course. Last year also, we had a crash course and many of the prelims questions appeared from our crash course material. I'll give you that material also, what we have distributed to the students. This year also, we have planned to begin this course in the December itself so that you can complete it by March, and April and May till the exam, you can revise it and you can keep on revising it 2-3 times. For that reason, we have started this crash course in the month of December. The course will not be conducted every day. The course will be weekly, 3 days. Particularly, this is to help our students, support our students who are actually finding difficult to prepare exclusively for prelims. In the classes, we'll be discussing, analyzing the topics, but in the crash course, it will be like crash, not like too much of analysis, too much of in details. Okay, we don't go to the complete details in the crash course. We don't completely go into each and every aspect. It is like a crash course. Don't expect that. Again, fundamental rights means we have 6 fundamental rights: right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation. Don't expect crash course in the manner which we teach the regular course. Crash course is like a one-stop solution for prelims. We'll go little fast. We'll give ideas. We'll give tips. And for this crash course, you will get materials. Okay. You'll also get materials, PDF format. PDF format you will get to your WhatsApp regularly. And you'll have around 150 hours of 100 to 150 hours lectures, which includes coming budget, coming academic survey, and also government schemes and programs. And crash course is a course where we'll be discussing all the important efforts in the last 1 year, which are important for prelims. Okay, so I'll take some examples how our crash course will go forward after brief introduction by Umesh sir and Rahul sir about this crash course. I'll also be discussing the few important topics, like as I have brought so many topics for you for discussion. All these things are meant for me, and I'll be taking some important core areas, all-round areas, like important areas in environment, important areas in science and technology, important areas in polity, not subject. Important areas, important topics I'll discuss. And this crash course will give like thematic. Thematic means in every subject, we'll prepare some themes. For example, in polity, we'll take 50 to 60 themes which are important in the last 1 year. Take 2 days back, American President Joe Biden have given pardon, clemency to his own son. So based on that question, we'll frame a question on what are the pardoning powers of Indian president, difference between pardoning powers of the president and governors. And second question, there's a news about money bills, difference between money bill and finance bill. There's a news about Assembly elections or one nation, one election. I'll discuss the most important issues with respect to constitution, which can come as a question in polity. In the same way, COP29 outcomes, or recently you have seen COP16 in biodiversity, and COP16 with respect to UNCCD, UN Convention to Combat Desertification. What is this UN Convention to Combat Desertification? Next year, COP17 of UNCCD is going to be held at Mongolia. It is going to be held at Mongolia next year. This year, where it was held? Saudi Arabia, Riyadh. Okay. So UN Convention to Combat Desertification. When did UN Convention to Combat Desertification was adopted? In 1992 Rio Summit or Earth Summit. So, for example, science and technology, Proba 3. I'm going to explain this. Proba 3 is very important. So, which are the following questions? I'll go into question answer format rather than an analysis format. What questions can be asked? And Aditya L1, Proba 3, Aditya L1. I'll also tell what is the difference between both the things. So, my role in crash course is not exclusively for politics. I don't want to take only politics. My classes will be on overall all the subjects important areas. I'll go with 100 or 150 themes. I'll discuss all the themes. Okay. Along with that, we'll have, say, with respect to environment, what type of questions they can ask. They can ask questions like, how do cyclones are named? Okay, you have seen a lot many cyclone names in the recent past. How do cyclones are named? Or BBNJ treaty, high seas treaty, biodiversity beyond national jurisdiction. What are the important provisions of BBNJ treaty? And this time hydrogen is very, very important. There won't be a question paper without a mention about hydrogen. It can be green hydrogen, it can be pink hydrogen, it can be any hydrogen. Okay. And this time, if you see, there are so many international conflicts, international issues that are coming up in news. Places in news is very important. What is a place in news today which is very important? Golan Heights. Golan Heights is an important question today. So we will collect all the important places in news. We have to collect all the important places in news. For example, Transnistria. Transnistria is in news from the last 2-3 days. Where is Transnistria located? Moldova. Moldova. Okay. Or else, where did recently G20 summit was held? Where did recently the G20 summit was held? Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. So, how many countries are there in G20? Which of the countries is not a member in G20? And what is a recent initiative taken by G20? Anyone in the class? What is a recent initiative taken in G20? Okay, Hunger and Poverty Alliance. Do you know that Global Action Against Hunger and Poverty Alliance, they have taken an initiative. Yesterday, there's one big news. World Health Organization released a report. Status of drowning prevention. Global status on drowning prevention report. First ever report. And from that, I'll also go into, in India, snake bite was recognized as notifiable disease. Snake bite. And what types of snakes are venomous? You might get a question not on snake bite, but on snakes. Okay. Or International Big Cat Alliance, 7 varieties of big cats. International Big Cat Alliance, 7 varieties of big cats. In the same way, discovery of world's largest coral in Solomon Islands. You might get a question on coral reefs, Great Barrier Reef. So you don't directly sometimes get a question on that current affair, but you might get a question on the related topic. For example, there's a topic called tiger reserves, which is in news. There's a topic called tiger reserves, which is in news. I'll be discussing about tiger census, which was released in 2023 April by Prime Minister Modi ji on the occasion of Project Tiger, 50 years of completion of Project Tiger. So these things are very important. In the similar manner, I'll be speaking on IUCN Red List, how IUCN lists are being made, what are endangered species, what are critically endangered species, what are vulnerable species, and especially which species got bettered with respect to IUCN, even the betterment, and Ramsar sites, wetlands, what is Montrex record, what's a wetland, what's a Montrex record, all these things. In the similar manner, we'll be discussing various subjects. Say, for example, polity. If you consider polity as a subject, Public Accounts Committee is in news. Recently, shipping bill is in news. What are the important features of shipping bill? Or banking bill, where you can have 4 nominees. Till now, you are not allowed to have 4 nominees for your bank account. But now you can have 4 nominees. So these things, all these things, for example, subcategorization of SCs, or various articles in the Indian Constitution which are in news, various articles in the Indian Constitution which are in news, various important Supreme Court judgments which are in news. What is the regular question can be expected from anti-defection law, question can be expected from motion of thanks, question can be expected from difference between president's impeachment and vice president's removal, as it was in news, vice president's removal, difference between president's impeachment and vice president's removal. All these things we are going to discuss. In the similar manner, we'll be discussing science and technology. In science and technology part, if you see cryptocurrency, now is in news. Bitcoin's value suddenly increased after the Trump's election. Already it is in hike, but with the Trump election, Bitcoin value was increased. So I'll be discussing various aspects with respect to information communication technology, generative AI, deepfake technology, including I'll be discussing about threats, biofuels, all these things. I'll be discussing the dynamic part of the syllabus. So in the classes, we are discussing the static part, right? This time in current classes, in crash course, I'm going to discuss about dynamic portions where we need to focus. Okay. My classes will be weekly, 2 classes will be there. I'll be talking this, and Umesh sir will take crash course and Rahul sir will take, and from Delhi teachers will come and take. Almost 8 teachers are going to take the crash course, and for the benefit of all our students, the course is not just like a regular course. We want to go with thematic model, where in history, sir will identify regular themes which are recurring in the exam. Sir will explain in his own words how he is going to deal with history, internal security, IR parts. IR parts, I'll take both the teachers, Umesh sir and also Rahul sir will take both the parts. Even with respect to economy, till now in classes, we have discussed the economy, which is in the static mode. Now, what is going to come in the exam? What is expected in the exam, that comes under the crash course. So Umesh sir will speak about his ideas, and don't think that it will be like rhetorics, pedagogy. You know what is pedagogy? Complete rhetoric, boring, demagogic speeches in pedagogy. Ala cheyam mem. This is going to be like crisp mode. 1 hour, 1.5 hour topics istan, chadukravali, material istan. ఈ టాపిక్లో ఇలా క్వశ్చన్ రావచ్చు, మీరు చదవాలి. మీరు చదువుకోకుండా రాబోయి వస్తే మీకే వేస్ట్. చదువుకోకుండా వస్తే మాత్రం అవుట్ అవుతారు. అది మాత్రం నేను చెప్తాను. నేను ఒక 1 అవర్ లెక్చర్ ఇచ్చి ఈ మెటీరియల్ నుంచి లెక్చర్ ఇస్తాను, ఇలా మెటీరియల్ ఇస్తాను, అది చదువుకుని రావాలి అంతే. దట్ ఈస్ అ థింగ్. ఓకే, దిస్ ఈజ్ మెంట్ ఎక్స్క్లూజివ్లీ ఫర్ యూ టు పాస్ ప్రిలిమ్స్. ఇట్స్ అ హ్యాండ్ హోల్డింగ్ అప్రోచ్ అనమాట. సో దీనికి సంబంధించి మీకు ఒక మధ్యలో సార్ వాళ్ళు డౌట్ సెషన్స్ కూడా కండక్ట్ చేస్తారు. So Umesh sir will speak, then Rahul sir will speak. Vimas sir will speak about how he will go with the thematic model with respect to various subjects.
Hello everyone. So I think ma'am has given a very good idea about how the course is going to be. But over and above that, one thing that I want to say is, you know that preliminary examination is going to be a very, very, so diverse exam. Multiple subjects you need to cover. Okay, and at the same time, you need a good amount of depth in each topic that is being asked as a question. So the questions are not usually very superficial, sir. So because of which reason, we thought that it would be good for the institute and for the student community too, in order to conduct an examination, in order to conduct a course wherein we are going to give a teacher's perspective into the prelims examination. So it is not going to be a full-fledged like PCM course where we discuss some main themes, some themes which we think can be asked as questions in future. But in preliminary examination, that is not going to be the case. We are going to be very objective as UPSC has been over the years. Then along with that, we are going to give you very, very good content material as ma'am has said. So we are going to, as and when we create any good material, we are going to immediately share it with you people. So you can rely on the material, okay? So, and along with the material, you can rely on the classroom program. And the program is also associated with some integrated tests of its own. So you can appear in those tests too. Then apart from appearing in the test, one thing that I want to make it clear for you people is this course is going to be meant for only the people who are writing preliminary in 2025. So it's not going to be a generic course. Okay, so because of which reason, the people who have already undergone the coaching, and along with the people who have undergone the coaching, who have a basic idea about the subjects, are okay, invited to the course, sir. The reason being, okay, otherwise you might face some problem in understanding the concepts. So that is the reason why people, you need to put in some effort from your side, as ma'am has pointed out very rightly. Okay, so the majority of the work should be done by you, and our role would be, okay, teacher plus mentor. So earlier in the PCM match, we were only teachers, but now we are teacher plus mentor. That is what we are going to do in crash course. So wherein, apart from giving instructive learning, we will also facilitate you people to read the right material, the right resources, and based on that, you people need to improve yourself, sir. Is it making sense? So, and you have to give good time for preparation. So, and already it is, okay, near to January. So naturally the prelims fever is going to get high in some time. So that's the reason why what you people need to do is exert as much energy as possible in prelims preparation. Okay, so and our target is very clear. We want to, okay, in fact, make as many students from our classroom program qualify preliminary examination as possible, sir. And for that, we will give all our efforts. But on the other side, you people also should give your efforts, sir. Is it clear? And particularly for the students who are belonging to, who are writing the exam for maybe 1 or 2 attempts, many students come to the head office. They say that, sir, we have problem in one particular subject. So this subject we are not able to understand properly. This subject we are finding difficulty in tackling, because of which reason 1 year, 2 year, our prelims has not been qualified. For all of these candidates who are suffering because of lack of preparation in any particular area, so this is going to be a brilliant opportunity for you people. Okay, so focus on the topics which are being dealt in class, and the class is going to be highly objective, as ma'am has pointed out. Okay, it is not going to be an entertaining session. Okay, it is going to be a session wherein, okay, all the themes are going to be touched. And in particular history subject, you might be knowing that the number of questions keeps varying. Okay, so the number of questions keep varying, and the areas that they are focusing in on also is keeping on varying, sir. And if just try to understand this, 1 year they ask questions on ancient and medieval. 1 year they ask questions on art and culture. 1 year they will give more emphasis to modern India. So, and the very enormity of history as a subject is making many people fearful about history, particularly in prelims examination. And my aim is to make the subject as simple and as easy as possible. So, and along with that, okay, so as ma'am is saying that we need to deal with some topics of IR2. So those areas also I will make sure that you are going to get the best quality content. Okay, so and along with the content, very good material also would be provided to you, sir. But it will be provided in soft copy format, and we are trying to make the material in a handwritten format. So that would be one more value addition for you people, because it would be more easy for you to read. Is it all right? Yes. So, and it is mainly for the candidates who have undergone the coaching, or at the same time, you might have, or you should have read for the exam at least once. At least every subject you need to have a superficial understanding, then only the crash course can add value to you. Is it fine? So that is one thing. So then,
See, this is not meant for the beginners to learn ABCDs. It will go very fast. Okay? I have never taken, or I have never read anything. I want to rely only on crash course and pass in the exam. If you have that mindset, leave it here itself. Don't attend this course. I'm very clear. This is for the students who know some basics about everything. It is not just if you're lagging in one subject, you can come, or 2 subjects, you can come. But if you don't have an idea about civils at all, just want to test what we are going to teach, that is nonsense. That is of no use. Okay. And second thing, don't rely on any cheat codes, cheap tricks, or something like tricks in prelims exam. Generally, most of the aspirants, as everyone have become a teacher now, everyone, next year you also can become a teacher. Everyone, if you can launch a YouTube channel and if you become a teacher, you will say some cheap tricks are cheat codes for civil services. Don't rely on those things. There are no shortcuts for this exam. UPSC understood this because the issue went up to UPSC. Cheat codes, all these things. Now the question paper, they have changed the pattern where no codes will work. Only hard work and smart work will work. Okay. Till last year, till 2022, 2023 exam, 2-3 years, this trend have come. This cheat codes, all these things, because of some online academies. But the problem is UPSC understood and made the paper more and more critical, not to allow these cheat codes. There is some thing called last minute cheat codes for the exam. Without learning knowledge, see that code and go for that option. Okay, don't do that. That is not correct. You have to properly study the subject, because even though if you pass prelims with some cheat or cheap codes, you can't pass mains. Okay, so don't completely rely on that. UPSC understood that magic. Now I think UPSC will not give such cheap easy traps to you this time, and UPSC will not, we cannot actually easily manipulate those exams. Okay, this is the other thing. And most important thing is you need to understand the pulse of the exam. What is that pulse of the exam? There is one secret for this exam, the pulse of the exam. This is not a cheap or cheat trick. You have to collect all UPSC prelims papers from the last 20-25 years, at least minimum from 2000 year onwards, year 2000. Better to go even from the year 1990s onwards. Take all the question papers. Okay, now take or collect all the question papers conducted by UPSC, not only for civil service exam, but various competitive exams like CAPF exam, Assistant Provident Fund Commissioner exam. Take the list of all the UPSC exams and collect all the question papers. And 25% of the themes will be repetitive. This is a smart trick. Not only from the question, you should also learn from the options. Not only from the question point, you should also learn from the options. Options in the sense, if there are 4 options below the question, you should find out a question for each option. Generally in UPSC, they don't give answers, options without any thought, without any idea. They will give options so closely as will feel that they want to make you confused, right? So similarly, if you see outside question papers, the options are very, very boring. Whereas in UPSC, if you observe, the options are very tricky. So you have to learn the subject even from the question papers. This is called reverse engineering. You might ask me, why you have not told this 6 months back? Because unless you understand something about UPSC, unless you know something about the subject, you should not enter into this mode. This is a very, very dangerous mode where you have to know the subject and you should also know the reverse engineering technique. Reverse engineering technique is a technique where collect all the old examination papers given by UPSC, not by coaching centers, including CSB. Okay. So finally, ultimately, UPSC is the standard. UPSC is the authority. You have come here to write UPSC. So your position is collect all the question papers, or else we will collect and give it to you. We will send it to you, all the question papers from all the exams given by UPSC, including recently last year, there's one exam, geoscientist exam. What all I have predicted for UPSC prelims, the questions appeared in geoscientist exam. I think the exam is geoscientist. Exactly, I think 7 or 8 months back, there is an exam called geoscientist. The questions which we have predicted for UPSC prelims, they appeared in geoscientist. Can you imagine? So my question is, you are expected to prepare based on all other general studies question papers given by UPSC. We'll collect and we'll also give those questions to you in order to make you to understand what standard we need to maintain in that. Okay, now Rahul sir will speak about his ideas, what he is going to deliver in the crash course.
Good evening. How many days are left for prelims? 160 days. Are you prepared? Are you prepared? Since very first day in all of your batches, I am making this a statement. You have to prepare. You have to go 1 month in advance. Do you remember that? Time will go very fast. I told you this thing. So prelims is just 160 days away. Consider it only 150, because when you will go in the mode, it will take at least 1 or 2 weeks to be in that mode. Fine. So in crash course, as ma'am said, as sir said, is a crash course. Fine. So it is a theme based. In economy, there are total 8 themes. So we will focus on those themes. We'll pinpoint what are the areas which UPSC focusing with the previous year's question paper analysis. For example, in monetary policy. So they are focusing on monetary policy tools. Fine. So in the monetary policy tools, these are the tools on which UPSC is focusing. So we will give you the brief. What is monetary policy? Brief. Within 10 minutes, we will brief you what is monetary policy. And with that monetary policy, what we will make you understand, these are the important points on this. UPSC is asking the question. Fine. Then we will provide you the notes which is related to static portion as well as dynamic portion. Anything which is related to the dynamic part. Fine. Any newspaper article or some good statement or any kind of data which is released by the RBI or Government of India, we will share on WhatsApp group in the PDF format. Fine. So you have to prepare that one. We will discuss in the class. Then at the weekend, you have to write the question paper, attempt the question paper. Whatever the doubts you are going to have, we will discuss. So the thing will be what? You should be first keep in your mind, you have to do the revision. Okay. So whatever the notes you have, do the revision. Come into the class, see the theme, focus on that theme, understand on what way they are asking the question. Once you understand in what way they are asking the question, we will discuss few questions. We will give you the relevance in what way they are asking. Fine. Once it is done, then prepare for the test. And as ma'am said that we have to go for not UPSC civil services question paper. Do you remember? I always told you this thing. You have to go for all the possible question papers which is conducted by whom? UPSC. Because they have a mindset. They have to select whom? Offices. Fine. So they always ask the question with this mindset. So this is the time you have to go through all the questions. So revision, question, revision. Fine. This is the mainstay for the prelims. Okay. Be tactically good. Strategy for mains. Tactic for what? Prelims. So the tactic is what? Themes. What are the themes of UPSC? Previous year's question paper. As much as practice you can do, you can go for it. And regarding IR, here just I want to add one more thing here. In IR, we are going, if you'll see the previous year's question paper of UPSC, you will find that most of the questions related to IR, I'm not saying all, but most of the questions are map based. For example, ma'am told this Golan Heights. Fine. So in the newspaper discussion, I was keep telling you that Golan Heights is in the news. Fine. So where the Golan Heights is? With how many countries Israel is sharing the border? Fine. So there are the questions which are map based. Fine. So I'll focus on that map areas in the IR or in other part also. So map based theme we will include. So map based theme plus budget is going to be presented by the government on 1st of February. Fine. So budget and economic survey. Fine. Though the economic surveys themes are very important from the mains point of view, but they also pick certain areas to prepare a question in the prelims. So what they do, they are not going to take the text from the economic survey, but they pick the theme. Fine. For example, in 2021, they have picked the theme of universal basic income because economic survey have discussed about UBI, universal basic income. So similarly, what we will do, not going to discuss the entire economic survey, but whatever the themes in the economic survey, we will pick and what possible of questions can be asked, in what way we will discuss. So budget, economic survey, and 8 themes of economy assisted by the questions and regular test. In that way, we are going to do that. Okay. And again, like those who do not know anything, fine, it is going to be very difficult for them. But ma'am, actually few students, they are consistently asking ki, I want to give a try. I want to give a try because like 2025, I want to give a try. Especially September batch student, they are like, ki, I want to give a try.
See, if you want to attend this course, no problem. But based on your category, if you belong to general category, if you have limited attempts, in future, not this year, in future, there is a chance that UPSC might limit the attempts. Okay, or OBC category. So I'm not talking about this year or today, in future. So for that reason, spare your attempts if you are not confident about your preparation. And even you have attempts, say that UPSC have continued the same policy. Generally, you will feel depressed when you fail in your first attempt. It will give you a demotivating factor. So don't do that. Only when you are confident about prelims and mains, go to the prelims exam. It's not like you are going to get a lottery. Okay, take it seriously. And do you know, when I have prepared for my first prelims, it's not so easy to get materials as you are getting right now. My father used to bring annual reports, hard copies. There is no soft copy at that time. Concept of having soft copy. So annual reports in the sense, every ministry, Environment Ministry, HRD Ministry at that time, now Ministry of Education, Women and Child Development, Ministry of Science and Technology, Ministry of, say, Home Ministry. All these ministries used to release what all they have done as a report. They are called annual reports. Now, these annual reports are available in their own websites. This is the first thing. Second thing, at that time, PIB, Press Information Bureau, is not so evolved. They used to, whenever somebody goes outside and surf from the internet, they used to give 2-liners, 3-liners as news. But now, PIB is releasing the entire details about what happened on the particular issue. Press Information Bureau, PIB websites, and even prs.org with respect to any new legislation, with respect to any new thing, you have prs.org. So you have plenty of materials that are available right now with you. In the era of internet, there is no dearth of material. The only thing is there is a depth of focus and determination. I have observed in my days, I used to study continuously, and I used to make a lot of notes. My notes itself is a very big gunny bag. But I have observed you people not even write your own proper class notes. Okay, when I wrote my own notes, most of the things I have remembered in my prelims, mains, and interview, recollecting the memory from my own notes. But the problem with you is you are studying and leaving. You are not making a note of it, note out of it. That is the biggest problem I have observed from all our students. The thing which I advise you is, at least from today, start writing something. Whatever you read, always should have a pen and paper, pen and your notebook with you. I always used to keep my reading itself is my writing, and my writing itself is my reading. I have never observed in the modern day youth. I have never observed this. They feel a little uncomfort when we ask them to write. I observed you feel little uncomfort, discomfort. Have you observed this with you? Are you making note of what all you are studying, what all you are actually reading? No. This is the problem. If you don't do this, it's a difficult task for you for prelims and mains to get through. Okay, so these things you need to get on. So I'm giving to Rahul sir.
So as ma'am says that you have to make majorly focusing on those people who are going not have completed the classes. They should complete the class, then go for the attempt, right? And as overall prelim strategy, you have to solve at least 4,000 questions. 4,000 questions you have to solve until unless
I have told so many things. Sir is telling so many things.
Until unless you have not solved minimum 4,000 means there is no maximum extent. Do you know every year the UPSC give the result in the month of May or maximum April last week. So they give the result April last week. Okay. And then next prelims is going to be in 20 to 24 days. How those people who have not able to clear the final exam, they see their mindset, in what trauma they are. They just miss the final selection and they again have to appear in next 20 days for what? Prelims, start from zero, but still they clear. How? Those who are doing their training in Nagpur or Hyderabad or different part of India, they come, they prepare, they get selected in prelims. How? You can say that maybe because they have did a lot of practice, they got selected earlier, that's why. No, that is not a key. The key is the day they are going to get, hardly they are going to take 45 days. Fine, in that 45 days, they go for extreme practice. From morning to evening, they are focusing their preparation strategy based on questions. It is not the content. Your entire strategy for the prelims is based on what? Questions. You should be in the question mode. If the question will be asked in this manner, how I am going to solve? Even if you are reading the content, your mindset should be how they are going to frame the question on it. What kind of question can be framed? And that is possible only when you have gone through the previous year's question. So once you have a previous year's question in your hand, fine, the language start. Consider the following statement. So if somebody is going to give me 4 questions conducted by different organizations, so immediately I'll identify this is the UPSC question. I started my career back in 2012 as a teacher of SSC. So I know their pattern and I know the UPSC pattern. So once I'll see the key, consider the following statement. It's a question of whom? UPSC. So you have to go that level. Previous year's question paper analysis should be go to that extent. You saw the question, you pinpointed the topic, and immediately that click your mind. That might possible question will be there. Day before yesterday, DT80, Double Tax Avoidance Treaty, and Most Favored Nation status was in news. Regarding which company? Nestle, Switzerland. So how DT80 can be asked in the exam? Fine, you have to think about that. Most favored nation. So maybe they will not ask in that context. They will directly ask what are the criteria. Consider the following statement about what? Most favored nation status. It's a reciprocity, or it is going to give you the leverage in what? Tax rebate. So in that context, so most favored nation status, in what way it can be asked? So you can know this thing only when you'll see the 2015 question paper. If you see the 2015 question paper, then you realize that how they ask the question on what? Most favored nation status. DT80. Back in 2007, they asked a question on DT80. 2007. Fine. Because DT80 with the Mauritius was in news at that point of time. So once you are connected with the questions and you are seeing all the recent current updates, then it is going to be easy for you to understand the theme and in what way UPSC can ask the question. Do the practice. Content we are going to provide, themes we are going to provide. So this is an ignition from us. Fuel is of yours. You have to put your fuel. We are going to ignite. Ignite through what? Themes, questions, content. But question paper analysis, solving as many as question, it's your responsibility. And final thing regarding this, if you want to clear the prelims, minimum how many questions? 4,000 questions. So you can put the parameter. How many days? How many questions? Per day, how many? CSET is also there. I keep reminding you this thing. How many questions in a day? 250 to 300. But do you think that you are able to do 200 to 300 questions in a day right now? Answer is no. No. But yes, if you will do the practice of 20 to 30 questions from this week itself, today's day, Monday. So by this weekend, your target should be reach to 50 questions in a day. Next week, target should be 100 to 120 questions. So once you will reach the 100 questions in a day, then you should go 100 questions in a day till then January end. Fine. From February onwards, you have to increase 150 to what? 200 questions. This is including CSAT also. Fine. CSAT also, because their practice is required. A lot of practice is required. So you should not miss that portion. Practice is utterly required. Go for the proper practice. So daily 200 questions if you are going to do, and later on when everything is going to be over by March or April first week, we will finish. So April and May, that accumulative going to be 45 days. So that 45 days, whether you are doing the revision, don't tell this ki I am doing the revision, I will solve the question later. That happens in the regular batch. Here, when you are focusing on prelims, you first solve the question. Wherever you are getting stuck, go the basic book and revise. So as ma'am said that, reverse engineering. So you have to do the reverse engineering, not revision first. First, go to the questions. Come to the revision portion. Go back to the question. Solve the questions. Wherever you are getting stuck, put it aside and focus on that in the detailed manner. Fine. So suppose that you are stuck in some fundamental rights portion. Fine. So you have solved the questions. In other part, you are comfortable, but you are not comfortable in Article 32. So go that theme. Fine. See that key, what type of the question they have asked, what notes I have. So you can focus on that. But rest of the portion should be solved in what? Question mode only. So this is the way how you are going to do that thing tactically. Precise thing. So that is we call as a tactic. Okay. Any questions?
Then, for example, I'll take one subject and explain what are the important areas which we need to study. So the entire news is about Gaganyaan spacecraft, Gaganyaan project, and what are the components in Gaganyaan? What is LVM-3? And who are all our astronauts who are going in Gaganyaan? Till now, how many countries launched space missions with humans? So in the same way, any international collaborations and ISRO. Recently, you have seen ISRO launched Proba 3. In the same way, NISAR, NASA ISRO Synthetic Aperture Radar. What is NISAR all about? What are the details about NISAR? For example, what is XPOSat? What are the features of XPOSat? In the similar manner, if you observe, there are certain interesting things about Shukrayaan, interplanetary missions like Mangalyaan, Shukrayaan, all these things. And you might also get a question with respect to Chandrayaan 3 and the futuristic Chandrayaan 4 and Bharatiya Antariksha Station, BAS. Bharatiya Antariksha Station. Similarly, details about our solar observatory Aditya L1 and difference between both the things. Particularly this year, SSLV technology, SSLV D3 mission, small satellite launch vehicle D3, SSLV D3. In the similar manner, Earth observation satellite EOS 08, EOS 08, that is trending, Earth observation satellite, and joint exercises with respect to India and other countries, joint exercises. And particularly, I can tell you, INS Arihant, INS Arighat, and INS Aridhaman. INS Aridhaman is in news. INS Aridhaman is in news. In the similar way, 2 days back, there's a news with respect to INS Tushil. What is the next upcoming version of INS Tushil? Tamala. INS Tamala. So they'll give the features. What is Tushil? It's a frigate. Tushil is a frigate. And you might get a questions on INS Wagir, INS Wagshir, INS Kanderi, INS Vela, difference between each each class of submarines and ships. Coming to other missiles, you may get a question on, say, V-SHORADs. What is V-SHORADs? So man-portable air defense systems. Man-portable air defense systems, V-SHORADs. Or in the similar manner, you may get a question on any other recent defense advancements in the country. So nuclear technology and nuclear advancements are in news recently. Why nuclear technology is in news from the last 3-4 days? Russia, Inca, Iran. So nuclear technology is completely news. They might ask you a detailed question on India's nuclear technology, the capacity of India's nuclear technology, and new fuel development, etc. And if you observe India's 3-stage nuclear program, some question we can expect from India's nuclear program. And the most important aspect in science and technologies, emerging technologies are frontier technologies. Emerging technologies are frontier technologies. What do you mean by emerging or frontier? They are still in the development stage. Say, for example, 3D printing. 3D printing. National Artificial Intelligence Mission. National Artificial Intelligence Mission. In the similar manner, if you observe, GPT, ChatGPT, generative artificial intelligence. Examples of generative artificial intelligence. Neuralink project. And major schemes you need to, particularly upcoming advanced technology in science and technologies, chip designing, semiconductors and National Semiconductor Mission. Semiconductors and National Semiconductor Mission. And National Quantum Mission. Even quantum technology is very important. What type of question they can ask from National Quantum Mission? And National Green Hydrogen Mission. Green hydrogen is completely in news. What is this green hydrogen all about? That might be a question. What is the target in green hydrogen mission? Green hydrogen, blue hydrogen, gray hydrogen, blue, brown, black, green hydrogen, blue hydrogen, gray hydrogen, black/brown hydrogen, black/brown hydrogen, pink hydrogen, yellow hydrogen, white hydrogen. There are different types of hydrogen. There are different varieties of hydrogen, types of hydrogen. And most importantly, if you observe, gene technologies are also coming up. Gene technology is coming up. Particularly if you see GEAC, Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee, to approve genetically modified crops or foods. GEAC, Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee or Approval Committee. Already a question was asked in UPSC with respect to CRISPR-Cas9. Editing technology, CRISPR-Cas9. It's a gene editing technology. Already a question was asked in UPSC. And in biotechnology, there are many questions that are coming up. Biotechnology developments, every year, 2-3 questions will be asked in UPSC with respect to biotechnology, particularly Bio E3 policy. Bio E3 policy. And coming to biotechnology and other things, you should also go with Central Drugs Standards Control Organization, CDSCO. You should also know about that. Drug Controller General of India, Central Drug Standard Control Organization. And in biofuel, EV, electric vehicles, you have to study separately. Biofuel policy, you have to study separately. And various government schemes and programs with respect to various things. For example, what is PM Jeevan Yojana and SATAT? What is PM Jeevan Yojana and SATAT, SATAT? Sustainable alternative towards affordable transportation, SATAT. sustainable alternative towards affordable transportation. SATAT. Satat. And if you see categorization of biofuels, categorization of biofuels, biogas program. And in UPSC, if you observe, biotechnology, biofuels, all these things, regularly you can see good number of questions. And information communication technology, difference between 5G and 6G. So what might be the advantage if you go with 6G technology? Difference between 5G and 6G. And the advantages if you go with 6G technology. And Ministry of Electronics and Communications. Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology launched the Vishwasya Blockchain Technology Stack. Vishwasya, VISHVASYA. What is this Vishwasya Blockchain Technology Stack is all about? So all these things we are going to study in S&T, Science and Technology. Supercomputers, why they are in use? Personal Data Protection Act 2023. With respect to information technology, Personal Data Protection Act 2023. And Nobel Prizes, it is not that who got it, why they got it. Not just who got it, but why they got it. All these things we are going to discuss in Science and Technology. All these topics, additional topics also I'll go to discuss. I have given only replica of few topics. I have given just examples of few topics. This is all about Science and Technology. Coming to IR. What are the important things in IR? Global Alliance Against Hunger and Poverty, G20. Global Alliance Against Hunger and Poverty. And we'll be discussing about International Criminal Court. Why we'll be discussing about International Criminal Court? International Criminal Court have given arrest warrant to, issued arrest warrant to Benjamin Netanyahu. And Prime Minister Modi's visit to Guyana. Actually, we should call it as Ghani. Okay. And we should also discuss about the entire important details about Lebanon, Hezbollah, Hamas, Houthis, all these things we need to discuss. India-Italy relations we need to discuss. Why we need to discuss India-Italy relations? Recent visit. In the recent summit, we had made a special emphasis on Italy. Then, so similarly, we'll also make theme-wise health-related schemes, educated-related schemes. For example, health-related schemes, Ayushman Vai Vandana cards. Ayushman Vai Vandana cards. Or we'll also discuss like agriculture-related, National Mission on Natural Farming. National Mission on Natural Farming. So we'll be discussing like themes also. I'll take certain themes and I'll be discussing some themes which are important. So we are also celebrating National Milk Day. Varghese Kurian's birthday, to honor him. Who is Varghese Kurian? Who was Varghese Kurian? He was father of White Revolution. And with respect to railway projects, we'll be discussing, we'll take certain things. And we'll also go with the other things like Forex reserves, RBI governor, even schemes and programs like Bima Sakhi Yojana, all these things. So I'll be taking all these things every week, 1 or 2 sessions till March. Okay, rest all history, sir, science and technology teacher, economy teacher, all will be giving only themes. And again, I'm telling this is not a lecture mode. మీకు మెటీరియల్ వస్తుంది, మెటీరియల్ బేస్ చేసుకుని క్లాస్ ఉంటుంది అంతే. అంటే క్లాసు మీకు మీరు చదువుకొచ్చి లేదా చదువుకునే విధంగా ఉంటుంది, అంతేగాని లెక్చర్ విపరీతమైన లెక్చర్ మోడ్ కూర్చుని గంటలు పెడగాగి మోడ్ ఉండదు. అర్థమైంది కదా ఏం చెప్పాను? ఓకే, 1 అవర్లో క్లాస్లో 10 గంటలు చెప్పేది 1 అవర్లో అయిపోద్ది క్లాస్లో. 10x స్పీడ్ అనమాట. And Nautaru?
Yes. So, yes, ma'am. So, yes, as ma'am has pointed out, one more thing that I wanted to tell here is, I think we need to talk about one important phenomenon that is happening in the market of prelims preparation, wherein you have, okay, a lot of materials, okay, and choosing the right kind of material in the multiplicity of materials. Okay, so then along with that, you keep reading one material, then one person beside you, he'll start reading one more material. Okay, then what happens is you will start feeling a fear of missing out. FOMO, it is called as. Okay, so you'll have that FOMO. Then what you will do is after reading half of one material, you'll move to the next material. Okay, so then after that, a third person will introduce one more material to you. Okay, this way, if you keep shifting materials and okay, so what you need to study, then what will happen is you'll never be able to get any mastery over any material, sir. And one more thing, as Mem has pointed out, you need to remember one thing, sir. Whatever you write with your hands, that will actually get registered in your mind in the long run. Okay, so and whatever the names of the institutes might change and the language of the content might be changing, but the essence of all content is same, right? Yes or no? Okay, see, for example, I'll tell you, okay, so when I talk about Ashoka's Dhamma, I discuss about Ashoka's Dhamma, any material discusses about Ashoka's Dhamma, or some other person discusses about Ashoka's Dhamma, does it mean that Ashoka's Dhamma itself will change? It will not change. Okay, in geography, one concept you read in one material, the same concept you read in another material, and a third material, the concept is going to remain the same, sir. And in prelims, try to understand this, as sir has pointed out, lot many people clear the examination in a very short time. For some people, it takes years. And for people who have, okay, cleared it once, okay, with a very good strategy, for them, clearing prelims becomes always cakewalk, sir. And as sir has pointed out, within 20 days, some people tend to clear prelims. Then what happens to others? Why are they not clearing? Primarily because the people who have very good command over the core concepts and the static parts of the syllabus, they are going to repeatedly clear the prelims examination, sir. Okay, over and above that, the current affairs and other sections are also important. But at the same time, the heart of the examination, so if you are able to get 30 to 40 questions or somewhere around 50 questions comfortably in static part, then the rest of the things, okay, is only going to be additive. Then along with that, in UPSC preliminary examination, one enemy to the student is students themselves becoming over ambitious, where it is not required. So try to understand this. Very simple logic. In preliminary examination, you have to qualify for the examination. You need not, okay, even if you get 200 out of 200, you are not going to get any rank directly, sir. So you have to qualify the examination. So be very clear about what needs to be done. Focus on static. Then along with that, okay, so give enough time to the current dimensions too, but mainly focus on static. Then along with static, okay, so in static too, so you might be knowing that there is history, polity, geography, economy. So on these four subjects, you give utmost emphasis, sir. Then in current, IR will be there, environment will be there, science and technology will be there, and along with that, some issues of national and international importance would be there, sir. So these are the only things, okay, 4 here and maybe 4 there, sir. And whenever you prepare, give good time to the static part too. And along with that, people who are clearing the exam repeatedly are the people who have already become the masters of concepts. Understand this very carefully. Whoever has a mastery of the concepts which are being repeatedly asked in examination, they repeatedly clear the prelims examination, sir. But the people who just, okay, sit with some monthly magazines and think that by just reading the monthly magazine, they will be able to clear the prelims examination, how many ever attempts they give, it is very difficult to clear the examination. That is the reason why ma'am also has rightly pointed out that this exam needs theme-wise preparation. Rather than, okay, current affairs magazine-based preparation, it requires theme-based preparation. Then along with that, okay, so rather than, see, because you people, most of you are in the early stages of your preparation, learning from the questions might also become a little difficult. So rather, I mean, you need to practice questions. That is no doubt, as sir has pointed out, practicing questions is very important. But learning from questions is never the right approach, sir. Because the questions, let's suppose you take some 100 questions. Out of those 100 questions, each question would be from a different theme. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? And if you keep practicing these 100 questions and learning, okay, the background theme of every topic, you will be reading very, very discreetly, right? Yes or no? There will not sit a unity within the subject, sir. Let's suppose the question comes on PSLV. So you prepare for PSLV. Okay, so there they will give some content, okay, as an answer, you prepare for PSLV. Then what is the guarantee that the question is going to be only on PSLV in UPSC? They will ask a question on GSLV. Okay, or some other rocket launching technology they will give a question on. Rather than doing that, while preparing for science and technology itself, you have a clear theme of what are the different kinds of, okay, mechanisms through which rockets are launched. Then automatically what will happen is, even 1,000 questions are given on the same concept, you will be able to answer them. Yes or no? So that is the reason why please clarify on your core concepts. Very absolute clarity you need to have, so that whatever question is framed, in whichever way they will come to hit you, you will be able to, okay, so you will be able to identify the answer. Again, try to understand this. Remembering the answer is different. Identifying the answer is also different. Okay, that is the reason why cramming is very limited in this examination, sir. Being familiar and aware is more important. Are you understanding this? Okay, because you need not write the answer there. What you need to do, you need to identify the answer out of the 4 options that have been given. And in identification of the answer, if you are fairly aware about the topic and if you are clear about the concept, then automatically you will be able to answer the question. So, and we will try to make the course as much as relevant to UPSC preliminary examination, and at the same time, don't get guided by the market forces. Okay, because the exam goes in a different direction, the market goes in a different direction, sir. Okay, so people who are following the market trend in preparation, most of the times they have to follow the market trend next year too, sir. I think you are understanding what I'm trying to say. Okay, so kabatti market trend to carry away avakunda మీరు ఏం చేయాలనుకుంటున్నారు, ఏ సబ్జెక్ట్స్ మీద ఎంత క్లారిటీ కావాలి మీకు, సో ఇలాంటి విషయాల మీద మీరు వర్క్ చేయండి. అండ్ దట్ టు ఇన్ ప్రిపరేషన్ ఐ హావ్ ఐడెంటిఫైడ్ మెనీ పీపుల్ హూ లైక్ వన్ పర్టికులర్ సబ్జెక్ట్, దే రీడ్ దట్ సబ్జెక్ట్ ఎక్సెసివ్లీ at the cost and neglect of other subjects. Okay, but finally in the examination, the subject of your choice and liking, the number of questions are, let's suppose 10 questions or 5 questions. ఈ ఇయర్ మంది కాదులే తమ్ముడు, నెక్స్ట్ ఇయర్ చూసుకుందాం అనుకుంటారా? లేకపోతే అన్ని సబ్జెక్ట్స్ ఓకే కాంప్రహెన్సివ్గా ప్రిపేర్ అవ్వాలని ట్రై చేస్తారా? ఓకే, సో యూ హ్యావ్ టు ప్రిపేర్ కాంప్రహెన్సివ్లీ, సార్. ఈజ్ ఇట్ ఫైన్? సో దట్ ఈస్ ద రీజన్ వై ద టఫెస్ట్ సబ్జెక్ట్ దట్ యూ హ్యావ్, or the subject which you face utmost difficulty, should be the first subject you should read in the morning, sir. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So that it will get converted into a easy subject for you. Okay, build familiarity, be aware. You will be able to definitely clear the preliminary examination. Okay, so shall I? Okay.
See, రాహుల్ సార్ ఇందాక మాట్లాడుతూ ఒకటి చెప్పారు, అది నిజం. 20 years నుంచి నేను అబ్జర్వ్ చేస్తున్నా. ఇప్పుడు ఐఆర్ఎస్ లో ఉన్న వాళ్ళు 180 మంది ఐఆర్ఎస్కి వెళ్ళారనుకో, 100 మంది ఫిల్మ్స్ రాస్తే 90 మంది పాస్ అవుతారు. ఎవరికి ఎగ్జామ్ కొత్తే కదా, వాళ్ళు ఎందుకు పాస్ అవుతారు? ఐపీఎస్ కూడా అంతే, మళ్ళీ ఎగ్జామ్ రాస్తే పాస్ అవుతారు. నాట్ బికాస్ దే ఆర్ సో నాలెడ్జబుల్, బట్ దే నో ద టెక్నిక్ ఆఫ్ ద ఎగ్జామ్. ఆ పల్స్ పట్టుకోండి మీరు, దానికి ఇది హెల్ప్ అవుతుంది. మేము వర్క్ చేసి మీరు వర్క్ చేయకుండా ఉంటే, ఇప్పుడు మెటీరియల్ ఇచ్చా చదువుకురామంటే చదువు రాకపోతే పల్స్ దొరకదు మీకు. ఓకే, ఒకసారి పాస్ అయిన వాళ్ళు రెండోసారి పాస్ అయ్యే రేషియో బాగా పెరిగిపోయింది యూపీఎస్సీలో. అసలు పాస్ కాకపోతే దే ఆర్ నెవర్ గెటింగ్ త్రూ 4-5 years బికాస్ దే కాంట్ యాక్చువల్లీ ఫీల్ దట్ పల్స్ ఆఫ్ ద ఎగ్జామ్. దే కాంట్ గెట్ దట్ పల్స్ ఆఫ్ ద ఎగ్జామ్ అనమాట. దట్ ఈస్ అ మేజర్ ప్రాబ్లం. ఓకే, హియర్ విల్ ట్రై టు హెల్ప్ యూ అవుట్ బై ప్రొవైడింగ్ దట్ పల్స్. మీరు దాన్ని అందుకోవాల్సిన మద, యూ ఆర్ ఎక్స్పెక్టెడ్ టు క్యాచ్ దట్ పల్స్. ఓకే, సో ఫ్రమ్ నౌ ఆన్ every week we have 3 sessions till March end with respect to crash course, and this also includes CSAT quick revision, all the quick revision classes, economic survey, budget, all the things. This is meant only to support you in your prelims preparation. Okay, and as sir told, don't get driven away by some other forces. Focus on your preparation. Okay, so every now and then, whenever you have a class, you will get complete details about the class and lecture, and you will get a WhatsApp of the notes, and you will get the class. So it will be properly structured schedule will be there. Notes వచ్చి notes class ఒకటేసారి వస్తాయి. ఓకే, మీకు notes తోనే క్లాస్ జరిగిద్ది. Done? So we'll close down the session now. And at 4 o'clock, 2 rankers. This year rankers, Mr. Kaushik and also Meena, they are coming. After 10 to 15 minutes, they'll be coming. Those who are interested to listen to their class, you can stay back. You can take a break for 10 minutes and you can stay back. Those who wanted to go out, you can go. The class is available online also if you want to listen online also. ఉండాలనుకున్న ఓపిక ఉంటే ఉండండి, లేదు వెళ్తా అంటే వెళ్ళండి. కానీ దే ఆర్ రీసెంట్ ర్యాంకర్స్ 2023 ర్యాంకర్స్ కాబట్టి వాళ్ళ ఇన్పుట్స్ కూడా కొన్ని తీసుకోండి మీ చదువులో వీలైతే, ఇఫ్ యూ హ్యావ్ టైం. థ్యాంక్ యూ.